Hi, this is CJ Corky. Join us as we unlock the mystery of literacy success. Our pen name, CJ Corky, is a tribute to our dad. The initials CJ represents his name, Charles Joseph, while Corky is the English pronunciation of the Polish word for daughters, symbolizing CJ's daughters. I will do a horrible pronunciation of Corky. We have been collaborating since 2021, navigating the challenges of balancing work life and writing. We have written several children's books as part of our Did You Know, Can You Find series. Their purpose is to help kids become active participants in the stories. Due to grandparenting interest in our books, we've added an intentional grandparenting series designed to inspire grandparents to share their family values and individual abilities to bridge the future generations by building memories together. This presentation is about the literacy crisis that kids are facing. We will share some tried and true solutions to this problem. Did you know that 67% of fourth graders today aren't proficient in reading? And it's shocking that 14% of the U.S. adult population cannot read. Pretty staggering numbers, right? So let's dig in a little deeper. When you dig into the data, you will find that there is a significant gap in kindergartners' readiness levels. That gap is directly related to their lack of future achievement in elementary school. At the end of the pandemic, we discovered that the children who began attending kindergarten during this time needed significant assistance with reading. The statistics are alarming. Without intervention, 1 out of every 3 of these children will now be at risk of struggling with reading. Our education system is set up to track academic accomplishments using standardized tests, but these results are only an alarm that is visible later in their academic career. It doesn't solve the literacy problem. So, we are here to tell you the truth about getting kids ready to read. Parents, grandparents, and caregivers have the key to unlocking literacy in the kids in their lives. Unfortunately, there are no classes, camps, or books that can help us help our kids with early literacy. Now here's a staggering statistic. 98% of moms report that no healthcare professional talked to them at all about language development during well checks and their development visits. Oh, and let me let you in on a little secret. Just reading to kids, even every day, is not the entire solution. A young child doesn't learn to read by passively listening to a story. What they need is intentional, direct instruction, and it begins with you. What we do know is that this crisis affects all demographics. But we also know that parents and grandparents with deeper pockets and more resources can hire tutors to help their reading deficient children. More and more parents are paying for these services, but this doesn't take into account when reporting statistics on readers versus non-readers. So we truly don't know how bad this crisis is without intervention. So, what can everyone do regardless of their social status? Talk to your children early and often. A well-known researcher and author, Maya Smart, states that knowing the alphabet is one of the most reliable early predictors of future reading success and failure. So what does it specifically look like, you might be thinking? Research has shown that a child, by the time they enter kindergarten, is at risk if they cannot consistently identify at least 10 upper and lowercase letters. With 18 uppercase and 15 lowercase letters, they have just reached the minimum expectations as a gauge for success. And the optimum goal is for our kindergartners to seamlessly identify all 26 upper and lowercase letters before kindergarten. Where do your kids and grandkids fall? Now, if you're thinking past kindergarten, studies have shown that children who start out strong in kindergarten go on to earn more money and are more successful overall as adults. In 1867, it was noted that if you wanted to keep people enslaved, refuse to teach them to read. Think back to that 14% of the U.S. population that currently cannot read. Staggering. The solution? Help parents, grandparents, and caregivers learn the benefits of interactive reading to the children. Let's start today. So, we are asked often, how do you do it? Well, it's a partnership between parents and caregivers. As a parent, there are 6 key steps to move your child forward on the reading continuum. Number 1, talk to them. Number 2, read to them. Number 3, teach them. Number 4, connect with them. Number 5, budget. Number 6, advocate. Now don't worry, we're going to go deeper into each of these in a second. Number 1, talk. Have you ever heard of serve and return? Let me show you how it is done with a popular comedian and advocate who will demonstrate this concept. What you will see is that his son is too young to have conversations with words like we do, but by having a dialogue with his baby, even though the response is gibberish, his son is learning how to talk, sharing opinions, and mimicking the talk that will eventually lead to conversations that both sides will understand. These conversations are simply banter. Ask questions, engage with their responses, and wait to encourage the follow-up response, and you will be impressed with their ability to talk long before they are looking and learning letters or words. To watch this great video, check out DJ Pryor on YouTube. Number 2, read. Start reading at birth or even before. Listening to the tone of your voice, the inflections, and pointing to the colorful pages sets them up to want to understand what the words actually say. Number 3, teach. This is where your reading goes from turning the pages and putting your child on the road to literacy. This is interactive. We've designed the Spark Guide and use it as we did with all of our Can You Find, Did You Know series books. S in Spark stands for the seek and find. Can they find a hidden object or any item that you refer to when reading the story? P, point. Point not only to the pictures but the words. If they have multiple items, counting how many there are and even counting and looking for shapes. A, ask. Don't just read the book and put it down. Stop and ask questions as you read. Questions like, well, how do you think the character feels about what just happened? Or what do you think is going to happen next? Those are just a few of the questions. I have no doubt you will be able to come up with many, many more. Next is R, review. Review the Did You Know facts. In the back of each of our children's books, we have a Did You Know section that has easy information about characters or events or items that can be found in the book. If the book you are reading doesn't provide a Did You Know fact sheet, create your own. What do you know about teddy bears? Tell them, for example, did you know that teddy bears were named after a U.S. president? Finally, K, no. The book is more than the body of the book. What about the cover, the title? Who's the author? What is the beginning of the book? And how do you know when the book is over? Number 4, connect. You are not alone. Use the resources that are out there. Caregivers, babysitters, doctors, the library, and yes, even other parents. Ask questions. Is your child developing with literacy? What can you do to help? When and where should you go to seek additional help? And number 5, budget. Make reading a priority. We refer to both time and money. Time, well, we all have that. We just need to allocate it as a priority to set our kids on the right path. As for money, if you can't buy books, there are free book exchanges in many neighborhoods, and also with a library card, you can take out up to 30 books at most libraries and return them in 30 days. Or just take out a few and bring your child to the library to pick their next favorites. And finally, number 6, advocate. You are your child's biggest fan. Believe that your child can do better. Help them along the path to success. Other well-intentioned people, like teachers and other caregivers, have 15 plus other kids to guide. Their time is splintered, and your child might get lost in the mix. You can make a difference by being their advocate. As I said earlier, parents aren't in this alone. Other adults have opportunities to interact with your children. It could be a grandparent, a full-time nanny, a daycare provider, a teacher, a librarian, or even a neighbor. Help them help you. Here are 5 activities that can be shared. 1, talk. 2, listen. 3, skills. 4, community. And 5, communicate. Number 1, talk. Even if there are other children in the environment, help the caregiver see the value and importance of having one-on-one conversation with each of the kids. Number 2, listen. Just like you, they too can serve in return. Stop, focus, and listen to the babble and respond. Number 3, skills. Have a plan. We know at-risk kids fail when entering kindergarten, as well as what the minimum and optimum expectations are. So work with your caregiver on an individual plan to build the skills and report periodically on the status. Hold them accountable for partnering with you on this journey. Number 4, community. A partnership that expands past immediate family can lift each child to success. Utilizing a support team approach of teachers, caregivers, tutors, psychologists, audiologists, and any other service provider working with the child can come together to provide the best possible options for your child's literacy accomplishments. And lastly, number 5, communicate. If you are a knowledgeable caregiver, help the parents learn things that they can do at home to reinforce the steps above. If the child is excelling or struggling, they also need to know what you are observing. So, thank you for listening. We encourage you to join the movement by connecting with us and sharing your stories. We promise to continue providing insight, guidance, and a little learning fun along the way. We are CJ Corky. Feel free to reach out to us, author@cjcorky.com, or our website, www.cjcorky.com. See you soon.